focused in that way. So what have you been up to then? Are you recording already? Yeah? No?
I thought the whole point was that you didn't know.
Well, I don't know.
Well, you asked.
Oh, well, yeah, well, I asked. Well, you don't need to tell me then. Oh, well. So what have you been doing this last week while I've been boiling in France?
You went to France. I went to a shopping centre in Wood Green.
Presumably you weren't there all week like I was in France.
Thank God, no, just a couple of hours.
Oh, lucky you.
So I met someone at the Costa Coffee there. And we were having our coffee. All of a sudden, there's a scream.
Somebody you know, obviously. Yeah. So,
Who else is it going to be?
Well, I don't know. It's the way you said it. It was like it was a random person. Oh, let's have coffee.
So
in Costa Coffee, the worst coffee. No, sorry.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. No, you're right.
I don't like Costa. I don't like Starbucks either.
But so
Gnat's piss.
We go to Costa Coffee. Within 5-10 minutes, screaming. What's that? A lady with a pram and a baby.
Yes.
Some mugger put their hand in the pram to try and get
her purse.
That or a golden bangle that
was on the child.
Or something like that.
Bloody hell.
And so the mum, very, very, quick with thoughts, she grabbed the wrists of the mugger and wouldn't let go.
Oh, wow.
And so screaming from all corners happened. Everyone stands up, sees what's going on. Within 20 seconds, security run onto the scene and grab this lady and take her away, which is all a bit dramatic. And then half an hour later, someone with clearly mental health issues starts shouting at everyone. So, and at that point, no, just for no reason, just started screaming at everyone. And at that point, I was like, no, I'm leaving. And so I got up and I walked away. Oh. I'm never going to Wood Green Shopping Centre.
Did you recognise they're looking for some guy that stabbed an 8-year-old?
Yeah, it's terrible. No, they arrested.
Oh, they've already got
arrested.
Because you never know. There's a lot of lunatics out and about. I thought you were going.
He was a bus girl. Apparently, he had no reason for anyone to do anything to the guy, and he gets stabbed.
Yeah, well, the guy in the Motability scooter was a busker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he could have been a particularly bad busker. Probably irritating the poor chap
enough
every
to
time.
Deserve a stabbing.
And it's like, I can't take this anymore on the way to work. No, I thought you were going to say to me, actually, that this poor woman was screaming her head off in the first one. And then all the commotion and all the people around filming it on their mobile phones.
A couple of the younger people were filming, but
didn't rush to help.
No, but the older people did. So everyone sort of 40 plus ran to help, and then obviously you had the dumb kids taking a video. Go look at what's going on.
Age of social media, right? It's just like, no, go and help them. Don't record it.
So that was interesting.
You can imagine the Blitz being happening in 2022, couldn't you? Right, and they were rushing into the street and rather heading for the Anderson shelters and the underground and the bunkers, standing there with their smartphones recording it to stick on TikTok.
That won't exist because the internet was blown up at that point.
Hello, but people aren't necessarily there.
I wonder if you get like an app on your phone that automatically prevents you from clicking onto social media at certain times of the day. If you could set it, like if it was like a parental control, and on the parental control, anyone under 18, like if you try to press Instagram, TikTok, any of those kinds of things, then there'd be like it'll block from like 9 a.m. to like 8 p.m.
And how much of it would be taken over by government broadcast?
Why would there be government broadcast?
Well,
if you're, how do you call it?
I don't know. How do you call it?
If you're obsessed with social media,
yes,
But your parent could say, well, between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m.
Yeah.
you won't be able to use it because it's locked on your phone and you can't get access to it in any way.
Yes.
What people would do instead, apart from wank?
Well, no, but they wouldn't do that.
No wank.
No. They're idiots. They should.
I mean,
don't get me wrong.
You should masturbate, and if you don't masturbate, go for a walk in the park.
Well, no.
Go
for a walk in the park beforehand. Don't try afterwards.
Or during.
I wouldn't go try during. That's awkward. And particularly if you're wearing a long raincoat. That's highly irresistible. But no. I mean, have a walk in the park by all means. But yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, the end of the world's coming.
If kids didn't have
a walk in the park, have a wank. I'll pick the latter every time.
If kids didn't have social media, what would they do instead?
I don't know. I do wish. I don't know.
My new neighbour has 3 teenage girls. They stay in their room,
play games
90% of the time, and then the eldest one has a boyfriend, so she'll see the boyfriend twice a week.
Yeah.
The middle one likes to read, so she reads a book, but in her room.
Yeah.
And then the younger one, who's like 12 or something like that, is still, she's properly feisty. She's a bit of a difficult one. But she also is like listening to music or watching TV or something like that in her room. So it's 3 girls in their rooms all the time.
Right.
And very rarely do they actually come out and do stuff together, even when it comes to dinner.
Yes,
like
very
the mum will make dinner. They get their plates
because they're so busy on social media or on live games.
But then they go back to their room. Like you could like have half an hour where you sat at the table.
Yeah.
Like you come together for half an hour and then fuck off back to your room.
Yeah.
As opposed to actually then eating your meal also in your bedroom.
Yeah, well, you hear this all the time, don't you? On the television, where the parents, it's so disconnected family-wise that the whoever's cooking the dinner is cooking 3 different types of food because
who would do that?
But people do it all the time.
Yeah, but it's like but it's a microwave
isn't it? Well,
it's easy to do 3 microwavable meals. It's harder to make 3 separate meals.
I'm sure not everybody.
No one is making 3 separate meals with 3 different members of the family.
Well, I would hardly call them cordon bleu meals necessarily. Beans on toast.
Imagine if you had to make 2 different meals every day. One for you, one for Matt. That wouldn't last long.
No. I'd soon sort of end up,
Divorced,
maybe, no.
So I'm not making new food separately.
But you're right. They spend all this fucking time isolated on the social media. They'd be lost without it. What did you do when you were a teenager before? Because obviously social media wasn't around. What did I do as a teenager?
I was on my bike.
On my bike.
Bike a lot. I was in my little courtyard thingy.
Yeah. And masturbating a lot.
Playing football, basketball.
Every moment in between.
Football, basketball, running around.
I'm sure.
Computers.
I
did those, those little Warhammer model.
Right.
Like painting.
See, I painted and drew and played musical instruments.
I couldn't paint, draw, and I couldn't play musical instruments.
No, you're very mathematical, aren't you? I still think you're on the spectrum. I think Justine's right. As an aside, and it's not in a bad way, but there's certain elements of that are very familiar to me. Not least because I know somebody else who has Asperger's.
I don't eat burgers.
Not has burgers.
He has burgers.
Asperger's.
He has burgers.
Asperger's with chips. Really quick and speedy to get through, but not great.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring a change of clothes on the plane.
Yeah. Why?
Well, because it's such a long flight.
Yeah,
it's probably worth it. Like towards the end of it.
I always feel like
have a change of clothes.
I always feel like clothes when you're on the plane get dirty. They feel you really feel icky that you worn them. It's not like You can go somewhere and
But it
you go,
doesn't-
"No, those jeans will do for another day," and they just don't.
But it
when
doesn't
you go on a
matter
plane.
whether you're on a plane for half an hour or 12. You get the same
Feeling.
regardless.
It is. Totally.
It's always like you just got to
You've got to get rid of
get
it.
all of it,
Yeah.
get all of it off,
Yes.
and hide it somewhere if you can't clean it straight away.
Yeah.
It's weird. It is. It's weird that.
But yes, relax in the garden with Chris and Christine, and that couldn't happen.
What are the chances that Chris would find a Christine? The chance of that happening must be so small.
Chris and Chris. Well, we did know a couple of guys called Richard and Richard, of which one of their friends dubbed them Black Dick and White Dick, to differentiate when they were talking about the two of them.
Is that the only way you could tell them apart?
No, because if you mention in a conversation Richard, which Richard? Well,
White Richard or Black Richard?
So, right, but it was obviously, for a bit of fun, White Dick and Black Dick. Richard.
Did they like that?
Yeah, of course. Of course, why not? Fun. But yes, two people with the same name. But yes, so we didn't really do a great deal, except have some nice lunches and good chats, indoor in the cool.
Yeah.
We went to this little nod to French restaurants. That was beautiful. I've been to Branton a few times. It's a very lovely place, very ancient, if you like. Beautiful setting. The food, probably the best meal I've had out, I must say, in a good few years.
Even when you came round to mine?
No, I mean,
you absolutely scumbag.
Yours is not a restaurant.
Doesn't matter. It's you going out.
Oh no, I've had some wonderful meals inside.
But is mine the best meal that you had in years?
That's a naughty question, because this place.
How rude!
Come on, this place was kind of Michelin star end of it, with the mousse bouche and the foie gras.
I would have made one a mousse bouche. Didn't realise you wanted a bloody mousse bouche. I would have flipping well made you one.
Your food is great. As I said to Matt, I expect that anything you do has a degree of perfection attached to it, like doing your croissant course. Yeah. We want to do it well. We want to make a good go of it. Which is how I look at it. But no, it was restaurant wise. And then I had the most beautiful piece of veal steak. But everything was...
You're eating all the babies.
Everything was...
You had a poor little duck, and then you killed the baby cow. What else did you eat? Rabbit. You knocked
my nod to it...
You knocked a rabbit on its head.
My nod to it was a vegan dessert. No.
Just to balance it all out.
Just to take away that horrible guilt.
He tortures a duck. He murders a baby cow.
The ducks.
But then he has a vegan chocolate mousse.
The ducks are on the
What was the dessert?
But no, it was actually it was these things with different types of chocolate and they were all handmade, almost like little chocolates almost, but they're with all these things in that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was sort of like looking at the final of Professional Master Chef or something like that. Everybody was able to just do. It was a very private adult hotel. No, nothing like that. Not a knocking shop.
You make it sound like.
Well, I say a private adult hotel means that you're all over a certain age. And it's expensive,
did you just
so it's exclusive.
Did you assume you could walk around naked?
Mate,
just no one
by the pool.
And just no one, and okay.
By the pool.
So essentially, you and Matt were the only ones to go naked, and everyone else was too embarrassed to say anything.
Quite the opposite.
And so they just let you get on with it.
Quite the opposite. We were there, and I think we were there maybe a day or two, and suddenly realised that all the people were taking the Sunday. You know, you might see one, and you thought, "Oh, they're a bit daring," and then you realise that
You're in a nudist beach.
that we're the only ones that really by the pool have their trunks on, and
What
so
the hell
in the thing after 2 days, it's like great, perfect.
What kind of hotels do you go to? Never in my life have I been to a hotel.
Served you cocktails by the pool?
Cocktails.
No. I said cocktails.
Serving cocks by the pool. That's what Simon meant to say.
Not cock.
Simon's getting served cock at the pool in the hotels that no one else has been to but him.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that kind of. No, not at all. It's just.
How many hotels have you been to where you can just strip off by the pool?
That's probably the only one I can think of for the last. Probably for the last 20 years.
Okay, but this is an exception, not the rule.
Oh, totally.
Okay,
I was really chuffed. I was really chuffed.
Because I have never in my life seen that. Okay. As long as we're clear.
Don't get me wrong.
It's not usual.
I like to go on holiday, and I like to find a place where I can go where there is a beach, a nice beach, where you can strip. And the reason I say that is because there's nothing nicer than to swim in the sea and get all your bits brown.
Not if there's jellyfish around. Then what?
Because the thing is,
that's a bad day.
It'd be a bad day if it stung your toe.
That's a bad day.
You go, yeah.
But you get those little fishes that gravitate towards your crotch.
Well, I've never come across one.
You have to jump right out of the sea if you get them.
And I don't mean that in a biblical sense.
Tiny, almost microscopic. But for whatever reason, they go for the crotch and then they start irritating the crotch area.
No.
Like I've seen it. I've seen it where women have
I know my brother was telling me that ticks do that. There's like those warm spots.
Yeah.
But anyway, no. I like to find a beach because there's that freedom and that kind of thing. And not only that, there's nothing more constricting than a pair of swimming trunks that when you've been in the sea half a dozen times, you start to get, after 2 or 3 days, that telltale soreness under the turn of your crease.
You could wear shorts.
Eh?
Shorts?
Well, yeah, but
swimming shorts.
Oh, come on. Walking around in a pair of bloody shorts you play football in, really.
Yeah. Most people don't want to see that when you start wearing swimming
That's
trunks.
why I like a nice secluded
Some
beach.
people don't want to see that either.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But no, hotel-wise...
It's bad enough you're in trunks, and it gets 10 times worse
hotel-wise,
when you take those trunks off.
Hotel-wise, I was quite surprised. Well, don't get me wrong, but before, I'm sure there was an element where he wasn't putting his feet on those yellow things.
Oh, again. So this is from last time as well.
Well, this is what he did last time. He put his feet on the yellow things, but then when he put the passport in and looked up at the camera, he was busy looking down, and then his feet would slightly move, and then because he kept looking down to the damn thing he wasn't focusing, and then he goes, "It's not working." Yeah, because you're not facing it. This time, bless him, I get through immediately. He comes up the machine behind me. Didn't work for him. 3 goes at it. The assistant sends him into another machine. 3 goes at that, doesn't work. Sends him down to the end where there's somebody who will actually directly assist you on that machine. She couldn't get it to work either. She positioned him, she did all the stuff. She placed the passport. It didn't work. So he then had to get the passport control. So, of course, I was stood there.
Did they walk him through, or did he have to get back into a queue?
Well,